So I'm, as you see, messy, very fire person. Maybe that shows on this page. But let's look at Pisces, the two water signs. Oh, sorry, and Cancer energy. So we're moving on to Pisces and Cancer. So two water signs. So let's talk about Pisces and Taurus, which is fixed earth and mutable water. Can be compatible, have a capacity to balance each other. That's Pisces and Taurus. Water is formless without earth. Earth gives water shape, channel it, and allows it to become useful. Pisces need grounding. As you know, Pisces could be boundaryless. So they need earth to contain them, to give them boundaries. Think of Pisces as a big ocean. Once you reach land, land kind of give the grounding that the boundaryless sea needs. And if you know Pisces, usually, they let a lot of people usually take advantage of them. Sometimes they're the victims of the zodiac, and they need this here, boundaries. The earth gives them boundaries so that way they don't become this here. Taurus can set the boundaries for Pisces. The boundaries is, your signal of where you stop. Because, of course, Taurus is firm and fixed. Pisces get lost when they don't have direction or moving. Sometimes they could be moving in all directions at once. Because think about the sea, just out there, this big white ocean going in a lot of different direction and meeting. Sometimes not having any boundaries. So the Earth can be, or Taurus can give Pisces a reference point, a guiding beacon, like a lighthouse. So the fluidity of Pisces can be contained. So the big issue here, of course, Pisces has a lot of compassion, water sign. So in some ways, Earth is not very compassionate. And sometimes Earth needs that compassion. So if you're a Taurus, maybe if you're looking at the Pisces energy, if you're looking at things that you're missing, if you're looking to incorporate some water, it could be Pisces water, it could be Scorpio intense emotional water, and then we'll go over Cancer nurturing water. So Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is associated again with the sea or the ocean. And so without water, really the earth will be barren. So if you're a Taurus person or someone that has, big Taurus energy, then, you want to look to these water placements and maybe incorporating them. In this case, with Pisces, that will be compassion, and that's usually compassion for all. So Venus rules Taurus, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. So Pisces can provide Taurus with emotional purpose as well as actually caring. And that's actually caring beyond material possessions. So Pisces and Taurus connection. Taurus has access to the sea of emotions, which is empathy. Taurus can sometimes be constricted by fear of losing their security, which can burden their hearts. And Taurus can be unreceptive to the needs and sensitivities of others. Of course, Earth, their connection through, the connection of Taurus and Pisces. Taurus can learn compassion, empathy, sensitivity, which softens their heart. So these two, let's kind of go over. Pisces need boundaries, which is the earth. The earth needs compassion, which if you thought that Venus gives you compassion, usually that's to yourself, not to others. But Pisces opens up compassion for all, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is a transpersonal planet, meaning that it's about everyone. So the sea, the river, let's give like a little analogy. So when you're thinking about, water, you have river water, you have sea water or ocean water. So river water is usually your own personal water, and that flows out to the sea, which is everyone's water. So when you think about Venus, Taurus energy, or just Taurus in itself, Taurus does have compassion, but it's not going to be compassion for others. It's going to be compassion for yourself. So in this new moon, if you're looking to deal with compassion, that's usually compassion for yourself and working on, self-love and self-care and self-worth. That's what Venus is about self. It's a personal planet versus Pisces, a transpersonal planet, which thinks about everyone. So let's go to Mama, or let's go to Cancer. So Cancer, we have fixed earth and cardinal water. Usually are compatible, water and earth. So of course water is formless. Water gives earth abundance, offspring, new growth, fertile. So these two create things together, plants, flowers, humans. When you think about this water and earth, nurturing energy to the earth, I think about plants growing up from the soil. So without water, earth is barren, ugly, dry, cracked, and useless. So they need each other. So the energy here is not bad. This is a sextile, these two energies. So it's kind of like a triene in a way. It's easy to incorporate. Then water energy is kind of like, that you need each other. They have mutual reliance. Taurus and Cancer. Taurus provides support and stability for the emotional changeability of Cancer. Taurus is reliable and predictable. Cancer and Taurus, two houses, are associated with security. Cancer with the security of your emotions, and Taurus with the security of material needs. These two don't betray each other, Cancer and Taurus. But the danger for Taurus, there's a danger because Taurus, is long. They could go a long time with dealing with stuff like long suffering. They could be very passive and they desire support. Cancer need to be careful not to abuse Taurus because Taurus is always, always going to be there. So a Cancer person, for a Cancer person, Taurus could be a dumping ground for their emotions, someone they could vent to, and the Taurus person can be the person to always absorb their emotional discharge, which is not really good for a Taurus person because Taurus, as nice as they are, they could blow up. So another area too is that Taurus can fail to be sensitive because, of course, Cancer is known as the sensitive sign of the zodiac. They're hypersensitive and vulnerable, and sometimes the two are not a good combination because sometimes Taurus could just ignore you because they're on their own, little journey. But the two of you together, earth and water, nurturing, and the two of you could create abundance. So if you're a Cancer person, look towards self-nurturing, looking at, the Taurus element and utilizing it, the earthly elements of Taurus, feminine, both are also feminine, to build up yourself. Yeah, and that's it. So with the last, I forgot what that was, if it was a new moon or full moon, but the last eclipse, of course, we had a lot of things happening, and we are also reported to be in Aquarius. We have Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto that moved into Aquarius, and we are purported to be in the age of Aquarius. So I think we're probably going to see a lot of this stuff going on, a lot of spiritual psychosis or things that are similar to that, like a lot of airy things happening, or a lot of people being in their heads, being only in their thoughts and not coming down to earth and looking at the practicality of things and the practicality of how things work on the earthly realm. They're going to be all up in here, and sometimes they'll end up here because they don't want to come down to here, or sometimes even go around to here. But like I said before with Gemini, sometimes you need to go here before you go here. You need to come down to earth and then move to your emotions, because emotions are very intense things to deal with. Ask these signs. the most sensitive one, the boundaryless one, the intense emotional one. You don't want to be moving from either fire or air or emotions. To me personally, you want to focus a little bit here to be down to earth. So let's deal with Aquarius and Taurus. Let's take a symbol, wind and rock. They can't do anything for each other. They're, again, like parallel objects, but in this case, this is even worse than a Gemini, because Aquarius, very detached, fixed earth and fixed air. So there's no moving either one of them. They're very incompatible, conflicted nature. They hold steadfast to their own positions, no compromise. So between these two, so you can see it's a big square there. Taurus is going to have a resistance because Taurus is about material security, deep-rooted in the material here and now. Of course, going to look at Taurus as very dense, that their ideas or the way how they live their life is just a cop-out because they don't want to go into the ideas realm, because Aquarius is all about, even though they're fixed, they're all also about change. So once they get an idea, it becomes fixed, but they're still about change, like changing the status quo. Whereas Taurus, once they have a pattern going or a path going, that's what they go with. So this is where they become kind of conflicting. They have conflicting ways of doing things. So Taurus views Aquarius as impractical. They live in like an ivory tower. They're arrogant and patronizing. They're going to have a battle of wills. Aquarius asking for change, and Taurus to move off their fixed position. Taurus take the path of least resistance and want to return to their comfortable, unbothered state. But if Aquarius because Taurus is also Venusian, right? So they also want to be in somewhat harmony with people. So they'll change, but that change is not going to come very easily. So, but if Taurus end up changing, so sometimes, we could look at certain things, but especially for a Taurus person, you gotta look at the practicality of it. If you're changing just for change's sake or changing just to keep the peace, what you're gonna do is lose your self-respect. But Taurus really is usually set in their ways, so they're not gonna really change. But if the Taurus is a dominant one, then Aquarius is not gonna like the limitations of Taurus. Aquarius wants to express themselves and their ideas, and they want to see their ideas come to life. And Taurus resisting them, that will feel like, oppression. They'll feel restricted, hemmed in. They'll feel very stagnant. So they don't really like each other. And Aquarius person can become resentful. They could have self-pity and hidden arrogance, especially if the Taurus blocks them. What they'll start doing is dig at the Taurus person and belittle them. So the positive side is this: Taurus can give grounding and practical ideas, or aid in implementing the Aquarius ideas, or finding ways for real change to take place. So they could be good. Aquarius has the ideas, but they need to come down to earth, because some of those ideas are not, they're just in your head. They don't have any practicality. And once Aquarius gets an idea, it's fixed. They don't want to change it. So this is where them and Taurus kind of just meet and bump heads. But if they incorporate practicality and come down to earth and test their ideas in reality, they will realize that some of those ideas are not really, they're just, in the air, and they need to maybe be more practical and grounded. So that's it for Aquarius and Taurus.